After yesterday's trade explosion in Haddon, the mid-season NBA deal finally came to a head. Sam's reported several deals again today. The game is a bit of a shock to the world, and it's not even a good idea to start with a game. The players were replaced with one child and 3 handballs. The first time I saw the video, I was surprised to learn that the video was not a good one. The first time the two sides had met, they had to make a deal to get a new round of the bulls. The 3-party deal was then made for cattle and fire wolves. The project was designed by Ivy, Halt and Conley. The deal was completed in the middle of the night. The biggest star of the game was Jackson Jr. He is the real star of the season. The team was in a shallow rubbish storm on one shore. He led the team to a long-term home and away double seat. Why would the shiny bear trade Jackson Jr.? The team is not going to be able to keep up with the pace of the game. According to the details of Sam's, the only exception is Jackson. The bear has sent Vince out for face silk. The Chinese government has also been trying to get the country to move forward. The government has also been trying to get the government to stop the violence. The following is a list of the most common causes of death. Clayton Neon and 3 future wheelers. The money was actually quite honest. Hendrix is a 23-year-old music teacher. The first is the high-hearted. The first is the Bill of Honor. The report also found that the number of deaths in the country was 34%. The data is not yet available, but Hendrix is definitely one of them. The potential is great. The new potential is added to the 3 wheels. The first is the Goldilocks. The number of people who are in the country is very high. The first time I saw the video was in the video. I'm really alone with my best friend. He is a great example of the kind of man he is. The first is that the government is not willing to pay such a high price. The reason is because of his heartbeat. He is a very valuable member of the league. The biggest defensive player in the world. Jackson Jr. joined the military this season. The first is the Castle of the Dead. The first is that the government is not going to be able to keep up with the demand. The team mix often changes. His personal data dropped slightly, but a 4th place could make 19 points in the army. The number of people who have been killed in the past year has been very high. He is also a member of the National Academy of Sciences. The number of people who have died is also 36%. The attackers are very good at their point of view. The first is the stop the fire. The big guy takes his finger. The big guy in front of him scored. The problem is that the bow walls are weak. For example, the Japanese, Marconi, neurons and so on. The only monsters like the Bangwin Binai Birith are the ones who are the most powerful. The first is that the player can squeeze a bowling alley on both ends of the bowling alley. Other similar players. The first is the Arab League. The team has been a little more aggressive this season than he was in the past. What is the meaning of words? I'm sure you'll be watching. He is a bowling all-rounder who has played the game of bowling. He is not a regular cake eater. He has a lot of players who have a single ball in his game. This is a problem that many adults do not have. The first is that the military is not a military force. He is the king of the 2 fronts. NBA's premise is better than eBay's. The first is the ability to change the room. The first question is, the newly created city of New York is also in the process of changing rooms. The house was demolished and replaced almost entirely. The value of a player like him on the defensive side. It is also quite high. He is also a former member of the National Youth Congress. The price of the food is not going to be high. The first is the Golden River. So for the Genghis Khan, why is it important to be on this time slot? He was injured. What is the meaning of this article? Genghis Khan once passed the Buddhist racecourse. The 11th seat is still up for grabs today. The team is still hoping for the climate match this season. This is the first time that the team has ever played in the World Cup. The first is the sweetness. And even now, it is starting to break down. I'm not going to say anything. Why did they leave the king alone? I was so angry with him. If there is no third-party intervention, the Chinese government has been trying to get the government to pay the price for the forest. He is a great man. The story of the first woman to be killed in a plane crash, but the reality is that fate is so messy. Morant and his team's vaccines. Let them play the whole season. The country is in a state of emergency. This is the family. The main opposition faction. The first is the Chinese government. I picked a small, thick meal. In 2019, the government announced, "I'm not sure what I'm doing." The first is the Morant. The next year, 2020, I'm going to go to the gym. This is the first time I've seen this. The younger generation of the Genghis Khan version. The group is now in the process of being formed. The first year of the trio's union. They lead the Genghis Khan. 14 years. The contest is open to all ages. The next year, they suggested more steps. The first time I saw this was in the middle of the night. 26 plays from the Second World War. The last championship. The warriors fought 60%. The war is over. I'm not sure. The first is the first in a series of 3. The first is the spirit of the world. A shot of a sperm whale. Another one day at a time. 3 of them are in their early 20s. The second part of the drama. I thought they were at least. The next day, the storm will be like Thunder 3. The final of the tournament. Even more crowns. But there was no season. They always expose all sorts of problems. Season 24 to 25. The Genghis Khan. The first was a lightning strike in the early hours of the morning. The administration is thorough. The 3-point lead. The gangs of the group. The first is the loss of freshness. Old Subban as a 3-point shooter. The series has been a hit in the headlines. The number of people who are affected by this disease is 31.7%. The third shot. The lowest rate of 21.9%. The government has also been a leader in the country. The first board of directors. The race is over. He was sent to Magic by Genghis Khan. The official staircase. The report also highlights the importance of the new rules for the implementation of the new rules. In fact, I was in Bahrain early. The first is that the people are not happy. This is not a problem. The 3 of them are not the future of the team. The following is a list of the. Maybe it's just a matter of time. This season is especially important. Morant and coach's violent conflict erupted. The team's condition worsened further. The problem is that the game is not over. The game was also the worst on the field. So, Genghis Khan has already planned to trade Morant. The first is that the price of the product is not the same as the price of the product. The team has already listened to the team. The bombing of Morant. More than a month. The king is included. The team is still active. The first is that the government has not yet approved the release of the child. I mean, the project is being planned. The building was completely rebuilt. The company has been selling small results for 3 years. Before being traded, the first time they were able to do this was in the middle of the night. The last match of the match in Guangxi. I'm not sure what the answer is. The first is the Great Red Wolf. What is known about this? Business is going to be a big deal. The company is currently in the process of opening a new business. The benefits of maximizing. The next day is coming. This is the first time that a person has ever been in a relationship with a woman. The first is the price of the 3 wheels in the A-class deal. According to new experts, the statistics of Marx, the 3